Welcome to Thursday Issues. We have come to the end of our series on the 8 rules of financial success with financial planner at SCI Wealth, James Fern, who's shared so far 7 rules he believes can help people succeed financially. Amongst these were paying yourself first, setting up an emergency fund, and seeking professional advice. James concludes the series with us tonight with a discussion on how to save and invest for when you're old. James, we're at the pinnacle of our mini-series. Is it a mini-series?
Mini-series.
8 rules of financial success, right? And the last one is save and invest for when you're old. What does that mean? Is it just applying to, like setting up a retirement fund and just saving, putting away money in a savings account at a bank?
It means different things for different people, yeah? But what most of us don't acknowledge is that we're going to get old, yeah? There's a great phone app called Aging Booth, free app on the phone. Mm-hmm. And what it does is you can take a picture of yourself, yeah, and you hit the go button on Aging Booth, and it produces what you're going to look like in 20 years, 30 years time. Yeah? So it's like, lets you look at old you. Now, if you're looking there at old you, what kind of things is old you going to tell young you now? What's it going to be? What are they going to be telling you to do? What's old you going to be saying to young you?
Get us financial freedom.
Come man, I need some money. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Stuff up to the mark. Yeah? All that stuff that you're blowing today, yeah, is making me hungry. And I'm old now. I can't go out and get a job. Nobody employs somebody over the age of 65. Yeah? I'm struggling. I go to the doctor and I've got some medical aid, but the medical aid say that I'm going to have to come up with a 50% co-payment to have this operation that I need. Yeah? Where am I going to get that money from? Where are you going to get that money from? The only place you're going to get that money from is you now. Mm. Yeah? So you have to get through to your head that at some point you're going to be old. And you're going to have to do something about your level of financial success now, and do that consistently between being now and being old. So then when you can't earn any more, you can fall back on what you've managed to save and invest during your working life. Mm. Now, whether you call that retirement or whatever, whether you do that through a pension fund, or whether you do it through investing in property, or whether you do it through, it's really tough to do it through cash in the bank, just saving. But however you try and do it, you need to start to do it now. Yeah? If at the end of the month you have nothing left, you are literally spending everything that you earn, take a look inside you and say, is that right? Is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. So how do we get the balance right? What's the balance between spend now and save for the future? Save for future me.
Yeah.
Now remember, a lot of us look at saving for the future like we're depriving ourselves in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah? But we're not. We're still going to spend that money. Just old us is going to spend that money. Yeah? Mm. So how am I getting the balance right between spend it now and spend it at some point in the future? Okay. What should that look like percentage-wise? So, do you know what our rule of thumb is on saving?
50, 30, 20, is it?
Uh-huh. What percentage should you be saving for your old age? It's difficult. Take your age now, if you're willing to admit to it. I'll admit to 47. Okay. So I'm 47 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Divide it by 2. Mm-hmm.
That's 23 and a half.
23 and a half.
Yeah.
I need to be saving 23.5% of anything that I earn.
Yeah.
Anything that's coming in, yeah, I need to be saving or investing that. Yeah? Okay, then I can live on the remaining 76.5. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's my balance at my stage in life. Why do I need to have that at this stage in life? Because I'm getting closer. Yeah?
Yeah.
My average life expectancy, provided I don't take risky behaviour, provided I keep myself relatively healthy, my average life expectancy now is over 80.
Ooh.
On average. Half the people like me will live past 80. Yeah? So that means when I get to 65 and become unemployable, I've still got 15 years, maybe a lot more, to look after myself. If I can't look after myself, who do I fall back on?
Your children.
Right. What do we complain about most here in Botswana with our money?
Black tax.
Black tax. Spot on. Yeah? So, the biggest gift you can give your grandchildren is to be financially independent in retirement. Because if you haven't done this saving, if you haven't got to financial independence when you're old, you're reliant on your children. So your children have to take their money and give it to you as a parent rather than investing it in their children. Yeah, in your grandchildren. So you think about this saving for the future. You think about saving and investing for old age. And you don't just think about it in ones and zeros, in pulas and tebes. You think about it as your entire legacy. You think about how, by doing that saving, you are improving the life of your grandchildren immensely. Just by doing something sensible now, living within your means, and putting away something for the future.
Okay, but what sort of investments should one look into if they are to be, relatively comfortable in their old age?
Okay, so you've got 5 types of thing that you can invest your money in. Yeah, you've got cash in the bank. You've got bonds, debt basically. You've got property. You've got equity, stocks and shares, and you've got commodities, things. And that goes on the low risk side, cash, up to the high risk side, commodities. Yeah? Commodities, you might count your cattle as a commodity. Yeah? And you can look at the value of that and how it fluctuates. You look at the danger of that, how easily it can disappear into the bush. Yeah? Now, we've got to diversify. We can't put all of our eggs in one basket. Cash in the bank, you've got to get some interest on it, either in a savings account or a money market fund, because inflation is going to erode the purchasing power of that cash. Yeah? Bonds, debt, low risk instrument, it still fluctuates, the value can fluctuate, but it's low risk because you're going to get repaid the capital, but it's not going to get you a fantastic return. Yeah? Remember, risk and return go hand in hand. Then you've got property. So you could invest in shares in a property company, a couple on the Botswana Stock Exchange, lots more overseas, or you can buy your own property. The thing about buying your own property is it's not a passive investment. You have to work at it. It's a business. Owning a property, renting it out is a business, and it takes hard work to make it work. Then you've got equities, stocks and shares, a share in somebody else's company. And the idea with that is that companies try to grow. They try to become more valuable in the future. And as economies grow, so do the companies within them. The downside of that is some companies can get it wrong. Yeah? So you have to diversify massively, even on that side. Don't go out and be buying individual stocks and expecting to get a fantastic return, because there's risk involved. Yeah? And then lastly, commodities. Now, the kind of commodities that I invest in will be gold, typically. Yeah. But the kind of commodities that most Botswana invest in are cattle. Yeah? And we retire, we think, oh, we've got cattle. But we're old, we've got an achy back. And as the milky glaucoma in our eyes starts to become more apparent, the herd boy that we've employed to look after our commodities suddenly starts disappearing with them. Yeah? So it goes back to the original thing. There's no such thing as free money. Yeah? You have to diversify, you have to weigh up risk and return, but really, come get some professional advice. Yeah? Come and get some independent advice. Come and run those ideas past a proper financial planner, a qualified financial planner. Yeah? And then we can put you on the right track for you as an individual.
You just mentioned or said something that was quite interesting. People always assume that owning or investing in property would give you passive income, but you just said that investing in property would be an active investment. Correct me if I'm wrong. How is that? Why is there this misconception, if it is, and why do you hold the belief that it is active?
Well, because the property that I own, okay, so I own my house. The investment property that I own, I have to work to maintain it. Every time the tenant leaves, I have to work to find a new tenant. I have to upgrade it. When the tenant leaves, I've got a month where I need to repaint it, and get it up to standard again, and I had to advertise it, and I've got a void period in that time. Yeah? If I owned a property in Letterkenny, every time there's a problem, I have to get in a blinking car and drive to Letterkenny. Yeah? How much is that costing me?
A lot of money.
Right. It's a business. It's an active investment. Yeah? So physical property investment, my advice is do it close to where you are, yeah? And treat it like the business that it is. It is not passive.